What is going on, Holotable Heroes, and welcome back to another Galaxy of Heroes video with me, your bald-headed boy Scribble. Today we are talking about the absolute flipping nonsense that is 7-star punishing one and how to counter it. Let's get this done. So we've got two different counters for you today, ladies and gentlemen, taking on a 7-star punishing one. This is with an R5 Dengar all 6 dot mods. Difficult, not top end, of course. Now, this counter here is the Executrix counter. I think Vexitron is the guy that actually discovered this or was clued into this one. He put out the video. There is a link to that video in the description down below. But we're going to go over this before heading over to our counter with the Profundity against this same lineup. So, what are we using? Ignore those additional Rebel ships there. We remove them. Standard Executrix lineup. We're going in with the Scythe, the TIE Advanced, and the TIE Fighter as our first starting ships. And then we've got the TIE Defender and the TIE Interceptor as our reinforcements. Now, the abilities that we use are very important. We have to use specific ones here to make sure that this works, that you survive, and there's still an element of RNG when it comes to this, whether or not you survive. Against lower stars, punishing ones, a lot easier. Start off just by targeting the punishing one, use that first special with your TIE Fighter. That's going to give you Foresight and Mark. That in turn is going to feed you some additional turn meter. We then want to call in our TIE Defender. Super valuable unit. We have got an irresistible stun coming up here against the punishing one. Go ahead and use that and then wait until you get your additional turns with your TIE Fighters. Using the marks here is good, and then immediately dispel all the buffs on the enemy team, getting all those stacks of formation on your Empire units. After this, you'll get a counterattack. Now, what I recommend you do here is, if your turn next is with TIE Defender, you want to plow all that damage into the punishing one. Take a look at the turn meter on your side of the field. Make sure that you have a unit that can take out Xanadu Blood. You do want to get rid of him. So I looked at this and thought, okay, TIE Defender's looking pretty good. I've got a turn coming up with the TIE Fighter Pilot. I should be able to then get rid of Xanadu Blood. Of course, he might stealth, but we've got options available to us with the ship's AoEs available. So I want to focus on punching one here because I want to get rid of him. We nearly defeat him, and then our TIE Advanced comes in and finishes him off. Unfortunately, we do have the Xanadu Blood going into stealth, but that's okay because we do have an AoE from the capital ship here, able to take him out. Now, it might not quite roll this way. Obviously, the more levels of investment that you've got in your Iden Versio, the better and more reliable this counter will be, so make sure you try to invest there. From here, it is basically just a cleanup game. If they reinforce with the Slave 1, it is a little bit painful. If they reinforce with the Houndstooth, it's a bit better, I will be honest, because Slave 1, unfortunately, will counterattack lots, which means he puts out a lot of target lock, which means they do hit that contract very, very quickly. So take him out, hopefully very quickly, and then you've just left with the Razor Crest. Now, I didn't lock this victory in because I didn't think there was much point. It gets to a certain point where I'm like, okay, we've guaranteed that win here. Let's move on. But I just wanted to show it for you guys anyway here. Getting that Razor Crest all the way down, reinforcing with the TIE Interceptor. That's just our backup reinforcement. We need it in that reinforcement lineup to get a fast and early TIE Defender regardless. So there we have it. Looking pretty good, looking pretty straightforward so far. Not too shabby. That's a definite guaranteed win. Let's take a look at Profundity. For Profundity versus punishing one at 7 stars, it is a little bit sketchy. It is not reliable. This is your Hail Mary, I've got nothing else left. It can work, but it's RNG dependent. So, Hans Millennium Falcon, Rebel Y-Wing, and Outrider starting lineup. Reinforcement, you need to make sure you've either got Cassian or Ghost, okay? And then fill the rest out with your Rebels. Now, what we do here is very important. We have to make sure we don't do too many assists, which obviously we can't always control because there's a 20% chance of assisting with crits. But we need to make sure we take every opportunity to control when the punishing one gets that death mark, okay? Open up with the second special for Profundity. That puts the mark on Xanadu Blood, and it makes sure we don't call any assists, okay? Enemy does their thing. You should be able to tank that damage with the Rebel Y-Wing. After that, we're going to use the second special from Outrider. That is going to give us speed up, which is going to help us outpace the enemy because we've lost 50 speed on all our allies thanks to the punishing one's first special, sorry. After that, we want to make sure, I mean, you might get some assists here. He might just dodge the straight up Millennium Falcon attack here. After this, we're using the AoE from Millennium Falcon. That's going to give us defense penetration up, okay? And we're just waiting now to get round to an opportunity to start taking on the punishing one. Now, we do have the mark on Xanadu Blood, unfortunately, so we don't have any opportunity here to walk around him, but it's okay. We've taken him out. Punishing one is about to take its second turn. So, with this reinforcement, we need to make sure that we either control or kill the punishing one here, guys. You have to control or kill punishing one. My choice is to go for the control here. He has got locked target lock. Okay, he's got locked tenacity down. Apologies. We're going to reinforce with the ghost here. That's going to go boop. There we go. And you see that target lock landing from the ghost reinforcement. Wonderful. When we use the second special from Ghost here, it actually puts ability block on target locked enemies. That's irresistible. That will stop him from being able to use that death mark. However, in this instance of me running this, we actually caused a mass assist from that ability and just straight up defeated the punishing one. What they reinforce with next, it could be Houndstooth, it could be Slave 1, it could be IG2K, it depends on the order of the reinforcement. Apparently, we got Slave 1, which is probably the easier option. We start by taking away all of its buffs, and I just decide to focus entirely on the Slave 1. Once the punishing one is out and you've got the numbers advantage like I do, the game is already won at this point. Play it like you would a normal Profundity versus Executor matchup, and you'd be hard-pressed to lose. If it comes in with Houndstooth, it's probably going to be a lot harder, especially because they've hit that contract already. That means we won't be able to get around that taunt. But that's a good point. We do have maybe... we've got Cassian on our reinforcement bench, which will give us some additional assists and stuff like that. So I think I just passed the turn over here. Is it? No? Okay, no, we're calling Cassian. Cassian is very useful because Cassian's second special is a call to assist. So if you don't have a decent ghost, you can use Cassian instead to try and get rid of that punishing one with your first reinforcement. That's the most important thing to get out of here, guys. You cannot let the punishing one survive that after that first reinforcement. You have to either control him or you have to kill him outright. Preferably just kill him outright. We managed to hit our contract here on the capital ship, and I say that's as good as done. We've definitely won this match. We've got a full fleet, everybody's healthy, and they've just got 2 ships and no capital. I am not going to pretend, ladies and gentlemen, like this is a guaranteed counter. It is a highly RNG counter with Profundity, but like I said, it is a Hail Mary if you have no other options available to you, or maybe if you've already defeated a unit like the Xanadu Blood on that Executor lineup and you need something to clear up with, this could be your solution, okay? It's about controlling the amount of assists that you do and trying to maximize and burst down the damage on that punishing one after it's been chipped away just a little bit. All right, let me know in the comment section down below, guys, what counters are you using? Give me more information so that I can help spread that a little bit wider. Make sure you give this video a like if it was useful to you, and a comment if you could, please. A huge shout out to my wonderful patrons. Thank you so much for your continued support. If anybody would like to consider supporting me further, please go through the Patreon link in my description below. I will see you all in the very next video. Peace out, and may the Force be with you.